Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Puneet Vadwa, and today we have Somsundaram PR, Regional CEO India, at the World Gold Council with us today. Welcome to the show, Mr. Somsundaram.
Thank you very much.
Let me start by asking you this. Is there a good time to buy gold for the long term? Or should one just buy and hold irrespective of the levels?
Well, this is, as I said, gold is something to be accumulated, and it's also passed on over generations. And we have seen gold have actually gone up along with inflation and the depreciation in various currencies. It's not just related to the Indian rupee. We're talking about the global currencies. If you really take India-specific data, since 1980 till now, gold has actually gone up by an average of 14.3% CAGR. Okay. Against that, the inflation has not been that high. So gold has always performed in the long run. So, and obviously what we have seen in a very recent study is in the short run, prices, monsoon, inflation affect the demand. In the long term, income affects demand. Okay, so what we are seeing is a 1% increase in income leads to a 0.9% increase in demand long term.
Okay.
A 1% increase in inflation leads to a 2.6% increase in demand in the short term. So short-term factors vary from the long-term factors. So question here is it a good time to buy? Now, obviously, any time is good to buy as long as you have a long-term view on gold.
So a number of experts have warned us against the possible rise in inflation over the next few months. In fact, a recent WGC report indicated investors use gold as a hedge against inflation. Can this time be different as there are more lucrative investment avenues available in terms of demand?
Actually, inflation in the short run drives demand in the short run. There is no doubt about it. In the long term, income has an overwhelming influence on gold demand. So in the short run, inflation does drive demand. A 1% rise in inflation leads to a 2.6% rise in the demand. So given the fact that there is a concern about inflation, clearly this will be always a good time to diversify your portfolio with some gold. And also given what is happening in other asset classes, equities and all, which have run up very, very fast. But, there are experts who say that look, they have run up too fast, too soon, etc. It will be good to have gold to diversify your portfolio.
Can investors fancy for cryptos than the overall gold demand then?
Well, you see, every asset class has a certain risks and certain benefits. Okay, and now cryptocurrencies are a new asset classes. They have obviously they have a lot of marketing that's going on around them, and they are digital, so they do attract a certain set of investors. There's no doubt about it, but still they are volatile. There is nothing backing cryptos. So in a sense, therefore, they are a different kind of a risk. Now, the thing about gold is it is always an asset class which is fully backed. There is no counterparty risk, where it actually, as part of a portfolio, it plays a very, very different role. When it is almost like an insurance. When everything else doesn't work, gold is going to work. So when you take on a risk asset like crypto, you got to add more gold to your portfolio. So it is not like one versus the other. Actually, one leads to more demand for gold. That's the way it is.
But why would investors flock to gold when the prices have actually gone down?
Yeah, that is again the long-term versus the short-term view that we have to take. Gold has been in existence for centuries. We're just seeing crypto rise, and crypto still does not have any. The regulatory framework is not known, particularly in India, where we stand about this. And as I said, there are lots of awareness issues about crypto. It's not backed by anything. Central banks don't hold crypto, whereas central banks hold gold as part of the reserves. It has always been a global currency, so you can't compare the short-term dynamics of crypto with gold. Gold is a long-term asset class, so that is the reason why investors should hold certain gold as part of the portfolio.
How do you see the price trends playing out over the next 1 year or so, given the fact that US Federal Reserve and the other global central banks as well may tweak their monetary policy?
Well, we don't forecast price, but given what is happening in the market, yeah, there are various factors at play. Certainly, the biggest one is the strength of dollar, the US interest rates, and we have seen that even in the ETF outflows during this quarter. But that's not the only factor. What happens essentially is when you find the interest rates go up, stronger dollar having a softening effect on price, what you see is that the explicit investment flows, like ETFs, they tend to become, they probably withdraw. But the consumer demand increases. The jewelry markets, bars and coins, they increase because they find it a good price, an attractive price, because the prices are softened to go and buy physical gold. And that is the beauty of gold. These two things actually counteract with each other at various points in time and bring about a balance in the gold market. So yes, if tomorrow the prices soften because of the US interest rates or any other geopolitical factor, then the consumer markets will come in a very big way. Because don't forget, the last 2-3 years, the consumer markets have faced the brunt of the high price.
So in the Indian context also, you see the investment demand for gold going up?
Yes, we do think. One thing about the Indian market is jewelry itself is an explicit investment.
Sure.
That is why you donate, you gift it during weddings, and it's part of the wealth transfer. So while it is in jewelry form, when you look at jewelry of 200 grams and 300 grams on a person, which you wear for a single occasion, they are more of an investment intent than pure jewelry everyday use. So we do expect that investment demand will grow. And again, cultural reason and economic reason. And India's per capita is still very low. And as incomes grow, as our study shows, certainly the long-term demand for gold will rise, because as more and more families come into the savings level, the first asset class they would like to save will be gold.
From 139 tons in September quarter, where do you see the gold demand going over the next 1 year or so? Where will we be in September 2022 quarter?
See, barring any further interruptions, because we can't speak about those, barring any further interruptions, if you are to extrapolate from where we stand, assuming that all the good factors are going to be at play, the prices will be soft like what we are seeing now, neither not too much volatile, because too much volatility also affects consumers. Even if it drops, consumers will stay back and say, will it drop further? Let me not buy now. So, but a range-bound price is always very good for the consumers. If this continues, what we would see is, given the fact that we're all coming out of lockdown, there's a lot of money that has been saved, at least by the families who can afford it. That's a big chunk. I think we will see one of the best years for gold.
Okay. Gold hallmarking has been another sore point between the industry and the government. Have the issues been ironed out?
Yes, I think. See, hallmarking has been with us for 20 years. It's not a new phenomenon. The mandatory hallmarking regulation was what probably caused, and within mandatory hallmarking as well, the HUID, as they say, a unique ID reference, which is now available on every jewelry, whether it should remain with the hunter or with the jeweler, that was the point of contention. I think all of them are being sorted out. So I think the good thing is now it has settled down, and in probably a couple of years from now, when we look at it, we can actually safely go and buy gold anywhere without having a problem about purity. And if on top of it, infrastructure like exchanges come up, the bullion exchange which is being talked about come up, you also have a very transparent price. You don't have to worry about who's quoting what. You have a very good all India benchmark price. So these two factors will also drive a lot of people who are otherwise worried about buying gold into gold.
Talking about regulation, digital gold players, according to reports, are expected to see a 5% drop in sales in FY22 as SEBI banned, buying digital gold from stockbrokers effective September 10. What are your views on this?
Well, as I said, it is not that SEBI has not banned digital gold. All they have said is regulated entities should not deal in unregulated product, because digital gold as yet is unregulated. That's all SEBI has said.
Correct.
Digital gold did not start off with these entities. They started off with other other distribution channels. Also went into these broking and investment advisors, which SEBI has said that don't deal with it. So you will see that digital gold will grow. There will be probably at some stage there will be a regulatory framework, because SEBI is already talking about an exchange. Okay, electronic gold receipts. When you're talking about that, I think it is sooner or later the market will have to deal with the digital gold aspect as well in a regulatory in a regulated framework.
Thank you, Som. Thank you so much for your time today.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.